I hate planes. I don't like flying. How I have a job where I fly half the year, I don't know. Still figuring that out. But I also hate being away from home. I'm like such a homebody. I love to sit inside and play video games. I don't like going outside too much. And so, but also, like I said, the travel is also very rewarding. We get to sing for people we will never meet again in our lives. I've gotten to reconnect with friends that have moved to Chicago and to New York and to Cincinnati that I've lost touch with because, well, I was still in Houston and they were gone and I had no way to see them. So, there's so many rewarding things about this job. Even during the pandemic, we're very, very lucky to be one of the few choirs that get to still sing because we have full-time salaries and we can say, hey, we're all going to quarantine for 2 weeks or we're going to quarantine for a month and we're going to drive across the bay and we're going to sing with masks and sing in this huge warehouse. And we are so lucky to have the luxury to do that. And we know that. And that's another rewarding part. It's like we get to sing every day. And that's not to be taken for granted.
I was going to add to what Matt just said about being able to sing every day. Kory mentioned that we do about 100 concerts a year, and we are one of the only ensembles that get the rare opportunity to really perfect music. We sing the same concert over and over and over again throughout a season. And so by the 60th time we've sung the same program, it's like, wow, I finally get it now. I finally understand what this piece of music is about. Maybe not the 60th time, maybe by the third time I'll figure some stuff out. But that is, not a lot of groups don't get to do that. You work on, even in college, you work on a set of songs for a concert for a semester, and then you don't see that music ever again. Other choirs that are like what we would call pickup ensembles, where people travel to do a concert together. They get their music a few weeks in advance. They do 2 rehearsals, 2 concerts, and that's it. So we really get to explore music and dive deeply. And I guess the toughest part of this is what the other guy said is the traveling. It can be finding the endurance to be able to sing, 4 concerts in a week can be rough, and you have to really take care of yourself and a lot of diligence when you're not on the clock, so to speak.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Rivera, and I was just wondering how difficult or hard it is to get everyone together, especially now since COVID, and how you're working through it.
It's really, really tough. In a normal year, it's not so tough. As Matt said, it's a full-time job and this is what we do. So it's, you're free on the weekdays because this is your job. So everybody shows up to rehearsal and it's not so hard to get everybody together. During COVID, obviously everything is more difficult. We all have agreed, because we're a full-time ensemble, that this is sort of going to become our life. When we decide to get together to sing a project, we take on protocols similar to like a professional sports team. That's what I liken it to, because we're a professional singing ensemble. And so we have pages of protocols that everybody signs onto and agrees to as we quarantine to get together to record a project. I know that you were sent a few of our recordings, our most recent recordings. Some of those were recorded all at home. But a few of them were recorded all together. And actually, in San Francisco, which is where we all are right now, you're actually not allowed to sing together in San Francisco. It's drastic, but probably the right call. It just makes things for us very difficult. So we've actually been rehearsing across the bay, and that adds a whole extra layer of complexity to get everything together. But we've managed to make it work because we all commit to it, and because this is, turns out we don't do a whole lot else other than think about choral music, which is beautiful, and it means that we're able to make it happen.
Hello, my name is Robert. My question to you guys is, what would you suggest I do to increase my resonance and my overall singing abilities?
So that's a tough one. First, voice lessons, obviously. people who are voice teachers know things. They're great. They're most likely amazing singers, and they're most likely amazing teachers. I have learned, for me, I have a big three. And I think it's probably the big three for everyone. But the first is breath support, breath control. The second is space. You know, a lot of choir teachers were like, okay, do that yawn space. That's actually so important to resonance and so important to vocal health. Because especially when we speak, we kind of speak with this, like, with our soft palate, like, meh, and we kind of press on our throats. And when, if I really should speak with a lot more of the space in here, a lot more resonance, and I know I'm really loud, and I'm not speaking any louder than, actually, I'm probably speaking louder now than I just was, because I'm not using my voice to its full potential. And then my third thing that I focus on is placement of vowels. And this was the last thing I ever learned, because I didn't understand that, like, you could have a lot of space and also sing really bright vowels. Like, what? Those are two different things. Like, ah, I mean, it's like, whoa. And that increases your resonance like 17,000 times. And if I could sing for you, I would. I think my neighbor would come over and knock on my door and say, hello, it's way too early for that. Shh. But those are kind of my big three, is breath and really understanding breath. It's so easy. It took me so long to even understand it. I mean, how many times have we talked about it in high school choir where they're like, okay, breathe really deep and, you know, get your air going. And I was like, I don't understand what you mean. Like, how do I get my breath to go that low? I don't know. And I didn't really get it till college. It just like didn't compute to my brain. No matter how many times we practiced it, no matter how many times people said it, until I really felt it and really understood the body. It just didn't make sense to me. So, and that's kind of my other big tip is, don't ever feel, I'm just gonna say the word, like, don't ever feel stupid for not understanding what you think everyone else understands. Because most likely everyone else is probably like, there's something that they're like, oh yeah, I got it. And they're like, they go home and they're like, I didn't understand anything about that. Like, so do not be afraid to ask questions. Do not be afraid to understand that you don't have it all figured out. If everyone around you understands how to make space in their mouth, but you don't, that's not a bad thing. Maybe you just have a different way to approach it, as Tim was saying earlier. You know, we all have different ways of approaching the voice. But as Tim said, it's all kind of grounded in the same technique. Those kind of big three things that we all think about. So I've went on for too long. But.
Yeah, I would. I'll be quick. I would encourage you. Maybe it's not the most appropriate thing to do in academia or in your school situation. I know you have one voice teacher that is supposed to take you along this journey through your 2 or 4 years. But I always enjoyed getting advice and having multiple vocal teachers kind of tell me what's going on. I think, and I know, I actually had a friend who studied with somebody for years and years and years through college and even after college. And then he decided, he's like, I just want to get like a tune-up lesson. And he went to somebody else and he's like, Kory, I learned so much. Like I had this different perspective about singing entirely. So it's not to say, hey, go to your voice teacher and say, hey, I'm ditching you and finding somebody else. But because in academia especially, you want to have that journey with somebody. But I think if it's okay with your teacher, or maybe you do it on the side, you know, get another perspective about singing. I think it might be a disservice to go your entire lives with one voice teacher.
So I think we're getting to the point for you guys and your time. I just want to introduce you our vocal professor, Dr. Johnson, that has been sitting here and listening to it, but I just want to introduce him, and I don't know if you have a question for them or something to say.
Not really, but I do want to second what they said just a minute ago. I would not be offended at all if you go and learn something really awesome from another voice teacher. I've studied with lots of different voice teachers in undergrad. I think I had some of them all 4 different years, because I love learning from different people. So yeah, totally on board with that.
So I just want to say thank you, Jane, for contacting us here. You know, this has been really cool. before we go, I want to tell you guys, when my friend's going to say something now, oh, I did this, I did that, I'm just going to say, oh, I just have a Q&A with Chanticleer. And that's it, you know, because it's awesome to, sorry, this is this setup in here. I don't know if I look at you, if I look at you guys, but it has been fantastic, and I'm sure these kids in here will have this forever. They're going to drop the mic as well. I wish you guys all the best. You guys are just a phenomenal group. It's very, very intriguing the way that you do, but it's just fantastic to listen to you guys. And I was just, you know, when I see the Ave Maria by Vivo, that you guys sing in so many cathedrals in there, I'm talking about, and I'm getting goosebumps because I can tell that you all enjoy it when you sing that piece in there. Especially the people call the counter tenors, you know, they are always good. I'm just kidding. So thank you so much, Jen. I know, I just want to see if you have something to say to us and to them.
Well, one thing, we have a reporter from the local paper on, and she wanted to ask you all a question.
Hi there, thanks so much. So I had a question for both groups. For Chanticleer, if y'all wouldn't mind, if all of y'all want to address this, that's fine. But what it is like to be able to have these outreach programs and to speak with these students, even if it's in a virtual format, and what you hope they take away from this experience, and then for the college students, what y'all do take away, and just what, you know, for y'all also what this experience is like.
Well, for us, we feel really, we're in a unique position these days to do these sort of things. And, you know, we were supposed to be in Texas this year and we're not. We were supposed to be a lot of places this year and we're not. And we get to do it this way, which is no substitute, but it's as good as we get. But it also means we get to reach out to places we weren't going to and have masterclasses with students all over the country and all over the world, actually. So I hope that it fosters this sense of community that I feel like everybody's sort of lacking these days. And that's what choral singing is all about. It's a community. And to have that community come to you and be together, even if it's separated, I think is just really important, because we're all doing our best to get through it together. And I think if we all share what we have with each other, even in these strange times, I think we'll all be better for it.
Awesome.
And I could just say for us as college students, I would say that we took all this great information and all the things that, you know, they've told us, you know, away as a positive to look at it. And I guess I could say we feel a little bit, I know for me, like I feel a little bit better knowing that even though they are professionals, like they still feel the same way that we do about singing sometimes. And, you know, we all still have the same thought process, but it does make us feel a little bit more better about pursuing our love for music.
And
Yeah,
real quick, can I actually get, oh, I'm sorry, Matt. Could I get your name, please?
My name is Rashida Stewart.
Would you mind spelling that for me? I'm sorry.
Fine. Okay, R-A-S-H-E-E-D-A-H, and then Stewart as in S-T-E-W-A-R-T.
Perfect. Thank you. Sorry, Matt. Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say that I'm so glad that she said that, because that is what I hope that students take away, is that we are all this. We have been through the same journey as them. We're all the same people. We're not like these God singers in the sky. We all have crazy issues every day. We wake up and we fight the same. We fight the same, you know, jaw tension and tongue tension and breath control. We fight the same fights. So I'm so happy that we can relate to young students, because we've all been there. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, and if I would just also add that, you know, you might feel pulled in 50 different directions right now as a college student. You have so many things that you have to work on, but the best part is that when you finish with all of these general studies and the things that you don't want to do, like theory, like Matt was talking about, you get to focus on what you love after you're done. and you have that skill set already in place so that you can just focus on singing.
Well, thank you again, everybody. Can you guys come to the center and turn to the camera? We are so happy. So, thank you. It has been great. And keep singing.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All the
Thank you
best.
so much. Thanks for the great questions.
Thank you all very, very much. We really appreciated it.
Out tenor voice right now before you guys go, or should I leave it alone? Should I show my countertenor voice now, or should I just leave it alone?
We're accepting applications for new singers, so if you want to submit anytime.
Thank you guys. Awesome. All the best.
We'll be in touch.
Thank you. Jane, do you need anything from me?
I'll send you an email. How's that?
Awesome. Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye. Hold on.